It is 8:30 now here on a Friday, and we're joined in studio by company president David Gentry of JET Filter Systems. Welcome to the morning show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you here. And now tell us a little bit about what JET Filter Systems is. If people don't know about you, tell us a little bit about your company.
Yeah, it's a weep hole component that we manufacture. We're located in Casey, Illinois, and we manufacture up in down in Olney and St. Marie, Illinois.
Okay.
Basically, it's a conical weep hole component. A lot of times these earth retaining structures have weep holes in there. They have issues and problems with the traditional drainage that they have through there with soil content loss and grass coming out of these weep holes and things like that.
Okay. Now, what is a weep hole?
Yeah, a weep hole is a small opening in an earth retaining structure. It's allowed to relieve the water pressure off behind these structures. The main majority of a retaining wall failure is moisture, concrete, and this allows the water through and without the loss of soils and coming through and causing voids and sinkholes.
Yeah.
So you have this filter. What is it? How does it work for you?
Yeah, we manufacture a conical hole. So, for an example, this weep hole here that we have 4 different diameters. We have a 2.5-inch ABS unit, a 3-inch and 4-inch diameter and 6-inch diameter weep hole components. A lot of the standard weep hole design for civil engineers for bridge abutments and box culverts and seawalls and bulkheads that usually it's a 4-inch standard hole in the wall opening to relieve the water pressure off. And we have a conical cartridge that goes in. It's maintainable. You're able to put in from the front face without digging up behind the structure.
Oh.
And this 3-inch diameter being conical is 17 square inches of fabric surface area. So a traditional piping or system through PVC pipe, you would not get that fabric surface area in that diameter of size of a hole. Our 4-inch unit's 26 square inches of fabric surface area. And plus the benefit is to be able to maintain it and clean it, where you can keep that erosion control fabric clean because you can't get that clean behind the wall without replacing the fabric.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. You mentioned some of the types of applications where it's used for. Yeah.
Yeah, transportation, bridge abutments, box culverts, off-road ramps, things like that the civil engineering, the DOTs need to consider the weep hole components instead of a traditional. Also, marine construction.
Okay.
You got seawalls, bulkheads, coastal seawalls where you have a high tide and low tide event where twice a day, where the water gets behind these structures twice, and and if there's nowhere for it to drain through the hole in the wall, it's got to drain that pressure off to make this infrastructure last a lot longer.
I was gonna say, yeah, it would just kind of get some of them maybe collapse, I guess. Huh?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
There's a real world application. You can check our videos out on jetfilter.com on our YouTube channel. Also, the engineering portal too. We can get the spec sheets for the engineers and so forth. But real world application, for an example, about 10 years ago, the Arlington Memorial Parkway caused a sinkhole.
Oh.
And they had to divert traffic around. And what happened was they came up with the loss of soils through an opening in the bridge abutment down below that caused the void in the sinkhole above. So to be able to maintain the filter media from the front face of the wall is very, very important to not have that issues like that, problems and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, David, if you already talked about this, I apologize. I was a little late getting in here. How did this happen? Because I'm always interested in knowing where a product comes from or what happened to cause you to come up with this.
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Casey, Illinois. I went to deep sea diving school in Seattle, Washington back in the day, and I went to Florida to start a seawall marine construction company and repair seawalls. And one day I did a lot of video inspections underwater with these seawalls down there, and came across the seawall repair that I saw a weep hole opening, losing soil and sand through there, and I'm thinking that's not a traditional way of putting filter fabric behind that hole is not practical to me. I got in the water and found out a way to put a filter from the front face to the back side without digging up and excavating behind the wall. patent that idea, and here we are in Central Illinois producing these units all over the world.
I love it. So you were deep sea diving, and here we are in Casey producing that. Huh?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a long travel journey. I've been producing these weed poles around 26 years or so, so it's been a little while. We're in a lot of DOTs around the country and throughout the world, actually, with the infrastructure needing a weed pole solution like this.
Yeah. So I suppose township guys and county and things like that can use these as well.
100%. The maintenance guys, they're out there checking the infrastructure out every day. They need to see this option or a solution, a practical solution that's very easy to put in and simple.
Very good.
But homeowners, landowners, they might need something if they've got a pond or something over a bridge of some sort over a creek, that type of thing.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
You got water pressure building up behind these walls all over, whether it's trapezoidal channels, stormwater channels, seawalls where you have the high and low tide events, even the lakefront properties where you have your slope foundation coming down to that wall. Your wall has a couple of different components to it. These walls have tiebacks to keep the walls straight and not movement. The telltale times of issues that you have is bowing, movement, rotation, separation of the seams, loss of soils, sinkholes, water pressure, moisture, things like that, where you can tell that these walls need to drain and relieve pressure off the wall.
Well, even walkout basements, I guess.
Yeah, it's basically for erosion control, but we are getting involved in some of the stormwater applications. Yeah. We come up with a product to remove the hydrocarbons from the waterways. So we've got a couple real good things going on, trying to improve the water quality through the infrastructure into the waterways and working on a few other things of trying to remove some of the contaminations like PFAS and nitrogen and phosphates would be the ideal for the agriculture side of things. We've got a patent pending product for our the black tile pipe for the agriculture, where we have an adapter pending product where we can put some geotextile in there where we can try to clean up some of the waterways.
Very good. You mentioned you've been doing this for 26 years, you said?
Yes, sir.
How's it changed over those years?
Definitely. We started out with a small 2.5-inch ABS unit, plastic. And then the requirements were coming in because of the standard hole designs where these engineers are specifying in 4-inch and 6-inch and 3-inch units. They all go on steel sheet pile walls, concrete seawalls, abutments, and things like that. Now, basically, we created a backflow preventer right after that. The city of Fort Lauderdale seawall ordinance wanted to have a check valve backflow preventer, and actually it's only a check valve out there that has erosion control to it. So that's kind of nice to have that piece for not allowing any additional water into a hole in the wall. And some of the other areas where rodent control and so forth like that, getting inside a hole is very important, especially when you're working on culverts and things and on the highways and so forth. But we've come a long way of trying to come up with ideas. We have the vehicle, we have the cartridge, we need the filters to put in here to remove some of the contamination, things like that, and it's nice to be able to have.
Very good, very good. And you mentioned you're in Casey.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and now if people want to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
Yeah, reach out to us on our website, jetfilter.com, and we have an engineering portal there and also a YouTube channel and some valuable information and some project studies, case studies, things like that throughout the world that we have on there. Our number is 800-475-2029. Be glad to help you out on any, especially with the engineers, sending samples out and things like that they need to have it for their design.
Very good. So, man, we learned something new today, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I never knew this even existed.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's great. Well, thanks for coming in and enlightening us on this Friday, and come back and see us again real soon, okay?
I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you.
That's David Gentry. Yeah, find a need and figure out how to fulfill it. That's what it's all about. Very interesting. JET Filter Systems in Casey.
Thank you.
Thank you. Community